welcome to my show. This is my show, not your show. So you're sitting on that side of the table. And like I said to you, this podcast isn't big enough for the both of us, so we're going to wrestle after.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to take you on, bro. I saw those cauliflower ears. I'm like, no, this guy means business.
I was like ready to go.
That's it, bro. I've got the green and gold here, the wallabies. But you know what? Fuck, it's too hot. I'm going to take it off.
Good while it lasted.
Oh, man. Just tough it over there. All right. Mr. Justin Holland. I think I've christened you a different name in my head, but I forgot what it was. I never call it's always Justin Holland. It doesn't feel like it suits you. I don't know why. For me, it doesn't suit you. When I think of it, it's just sort of like, no, it's not you. I don't know why. Sorry, bro.
So what name comes to your head?
Because I'm in construction, I keep on thinking of John Holland, but then I'm like, it just doesn't work. I don't know. I've always... Just when I'm trying to remember you, I can't remember that. I don't know. It's just,
that makes sense.
I don't understand. Anyways, thank you very much for coming tonight, man. I really appreciate it.
No problems. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, of course. Well, we both know this place very well.
Definitely.
we both have the same PA.
Yeah, we sure do.
I've done a little bit of research on you. Not too much, because I said, fuck it. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole too much. I want to get it on here. And so basically, I just want you to just tell me a little bit about yourself. You know, where you were born. Oh, I know where you were born, but bank account details, social security numbers, all that type of stuff. Let's just start.
Yeah, okay. Let me just get the bank details out and get started.
Give me a bit about, just tell me who is Justin Holland. Who is Justin?
Okay, Justin. So... Obviously, I was born with dyslexia. Now I'm starting to stutter.
Dyslexia.
I have dyslexia.
Take your time.
Which Apraxia is like a speech impairment.
Oh,
so for the longest time, I used to struggle to communicate with people.
So obviously, this was from birth.
Yes.
So you're born from birth. So
yes.
And when you started to, did you develop speech later, or was everything like normal, fine, and then your parents just noticed that you couldn't get the words out, or what was the...
Yeah, my parents noticed at a young age where I struggled to communicate with people.
Uh-huh.
And even when I was at school, people didn't understand what was going on. And I was just that kid who had a big imagination, right?
Yeah.
So I used to pretend I was all these different superheroes. And this one guy I looked up to first was Mr. Bean.
Mr. Teddy.
Yeah, Mr. Teddy. So I wore his suit, his tie, and I used to call myself Bean.
How old were you at this stage? This was at school. So what, year one, kindergarten? What?
Yeah, I was probably about 5 years old at this time.
Holy crap. You used to dress up like Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's awesome.
I didn't get along with the kids because they couldn't understand me. I used to get bullied all the time. But yeah, it was quite hard for me to resonate with people.
Yeah.
Because I was considered the outcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. But later down the track where I discovered wrestling is when I started to progress and I started to educate myself more and I started to overcome my speech impairment.
Well, there you go. So before we get on to wrestling, you mentioned superheroes. Which ones?
Okay.
Which ones? Other than Mr. Bean, he's the ultimate.
He's the ultimate.
Yeah.
I loved Spider-Man.
Yeah, okay.
Batman.
Oh, Batman.
Yeah.
The best.
There was something about him, especially being a human, but having these super qualities about him that he was trying to avenge his parents and he became the world's greatest detective.
He went through great trauma.
He did, and I could resonate with that.
For me, Batman is the greatest. I used to like him more, Superman, and it was just, for me, when I was younger, it was just Batman, Superman. That's it, when I was in the 90s. Now, with Batman, when I went to preschool, it was in Sans Souci, and you go there with all the other kids, and I took, one day I took my Batman with me, my favorite Batman. It was orange, and he had a parachute. And I took that with me and I'm just in the corner, just playing, not in the corner, but just around, just playing. That was my world. And I was just so happy. And when you love something, you show it to the other kids, like, this is mine. Oh my God, this is so cute. Or this is so cool. And the other kid's like, yeah. But there was this other kid that came along that for whatever fucking reason didn't like me. And I'm like, at preschool, what are you, 4, 5 years old? Like, what the hell? Like, whatever, I don't know. And he saw how much I loved this thing. and he grabbed it from me and he threw it over the fence.
Wow.
Into I don't know what it was. It was like next door was like these trucks and these pallets, and it was some type of distribution center. And I was like, what the? And he also brought his big bat. So he had the big one as well. He had the massive one back in those days. I also had that was at home, but this was my OG. And I started crying and calling out to the carers. They come over, what's going on? I'm like, and they looked over the fence. And we looked over, couldn't find it.
Wow.
And that just distraught me. Like, first of all, my mum bought it for me. So if my mum buys me something and someone, goes out of their way to, to destroy that, I was like, I will destroy you. Like now, I won't. But it's sort of like I've got that connection because someone that I love dearly got that for me. So I don't know. I was just so fucked up over that. And then a couple of years ago, I said, you know what? I think that actually still plagues me. So I went onto Amazon or Google. I found it. And it was like $30 and I bought it. So really? I took it out of the packaging. It's at home. I'm actually going to bring it. I have it behind me here. And I bought it. So it's got there. And I remember the day that I got it, I felt so happy. It's just so cool. It's just orange. And he's got the parachute. I'll send you a photo of it so you can see it.
What a great feeling.
It's like the moral of the story is do not fucking throw anyone's Batman over the fence. All right. Do not touch another man's Batman. That sounds so bad, but
you just like made me click into a past trauma as well.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro.
No,
I'm happy in a way.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
I came to school once dressed as Batman. So obviously had that on, and I remember this chubby kid ended up starting pushing me over, grabbing onto my suit and just started pulling me left, right, and center.
Fuck.
And I was traumatized by that. I was like, didn't know what to do. But now when I look back, I just think I feel sorry for the kid who did that.
Yeah.
Because you don't really know what they're going through.
Man,
at the end of the day.
100%. I started getting bullied when I was in preschool. That's pretty young. And then through kindergarten, then early primary school. And then from that, because of that, so much of that trauma, I don't want to use the word trauma all the time, but from those difficult times and that sadness and that not understanding what's going on, what happened to me was I actually flipped a switch in me. And I'm like, well, because I'm so angry and I felt like this when I do it to me, maybe I should start doing that. And that's the way that I understand it. So then I actually, and I'm not ashamed to admit this, and I'm sorry, because I know a lot of people say, I hate bullies. I used to bash them. Cool, bro. You should probably bash me when I was younger. But I turned into a bully. Yeah. In the later years of my primary and then in high school. And then obviously naturally it's like, this isn't me. I'm going to fucking stop this. But it came, and the reason why I talk about this is because it came from a point of anger, dissatisfaction, and deep just not being satisfied and deep anger. And that's sort of when you say, I feel for the bullies, like, yeah. And this is what I say to everyone. If someone bullies you, they're not in a good space. They're hurting so badly. They want to project that onto you, so that you need to understand that if they're doing that to you, you're doing the right things. You're good. They're the ones that aren't good. So and that's sort of like how I try to help people and help them understand it. But fucking bullies come from, like, it's fucked. Like that. To hurt someone else, it just means there's something really bad going on inside you, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I've heard stories through friends that used to be bullies as well. They used to be bullied by their parents, by getting beaten up by their dad.
Yeah,
quite devastating for them. And all they know is to pass on the pain that they feel from what their dad or their parents give to them.
Yeah.
And it's heartbreaking for those kids that get bullied, especially from their own parents, and then having to pass it on to somebody else and not knowing what they're doing to the other kids by bullying them.
100%, man. So that's why I'm going to share that. But so we go back to this chubby kid, you know, and he was grabbing you, throwing you around in your Batman suit. And what happened then?
It was only like little glimpse of different memories from there. I just remember from that day forward, I stopped bringing like different suits to school.
Fair enough.
But I always thought myself as different characters, and I used to just play by myself.
Okay.
Because I couldn't get along with anyone really at that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it was quite funny too, because I know I've had like quite a spiritual encounter too at a young age. I remember I was in the garage, and because I heard other kids swearing at school,
Yeah.
and obviously I picked up that trade and I started swearing all the time. And I heard this voice when I was with my sister, and we're obviously swearing. There's something that was telling me not to swear. Like, otherwise, there's like going to be punishment for it. And then from that day forward, I actually stopped swearing. And it was quite a weird encounter, but I know I felt like something higher was looking out for me and was trying to build character within me by isolating me from everyone at a young age to truly understand how people are by being, because I was like quite introverted. I used to just always watch people, trying to figure out why do they do what they do.
Yes.
And from there, I had a better understanding why people act the way they do.
Yeah.
Just from always watching. Even though I was playing by myself, I was still observing what everyone else was doing around me.
Interesting, man.
Yeah.
Interesting. So when did you start? How old were you when you started wrestling?
I started at 11 years old.
11 years old. So tell me about the first encounter, like when you went to wrestling for the first time and when you started going down that path. How did that help you?
Okay. So I'll tell you how it started. So before that, I wanted to be an actor.
Okay.
Right?
From that young age, yeah.
Yeah. So from there, I used to pretend I was all these different characters. And then one day, my cousin who recently went to the Olympics, he brought like wrestling action figures over. Like a wrestling ring, all these toys, and we're just playing.
all those things, man.
It was so much
fun. Was it legit like a not a real size ring, but there was it all the WWE and WWF and all those figures?
Yes, that's right.
I remember those ones back in the day, man. Yep.
It was so good, and we used to watch. I think it was Monday Night Raw every Friday night.
Yeah.
At my nan's house, and we used to wrestle in the hallway.
Oh fuck yeah!
Just slamming each other against the walls, and you could hear our parents, "Stop doing that! You're destroying the walls." And then one day I decided to go on the internet. Back in that time, it was like AOL. I don't know if you know.
That was dial-up, bro.
Dial-up internet. I'm 31.
Yeah, so I'm 30. I'm 34. So I've got to think about that. So literally, I've got a couple years on you. So I was 3 years before you. So I know exactly what you're going through with the internet. And the kids of today do not understand the pain that we went through. That was dial up, and you had to you get the ringtone, and you have to it took about 25 years to load one website.
Oh man, tell me about it. It took me like a good 20 minutes just to find the website.
Yeah.
And it was on the first page, which was the funniest thing. It was a place in Cabramatta, PCYC. So what I thought, it was professional wrestling. So I dressed up like the Undertaker with a black bandana, chain, like a singlet and black jeans. Rocked up to the session, and the coach looked at me and was like, "What are you wearing? This is real wrestling, not fake wrestling." So I ended up doing my first session in black jeans.
You rock up there like the...
Yeah.
Oh, imagine you went like Kane.
Oh, man, imagine
face
that.
paint.
Oh, that would have been
Or
interesting.
Even Sting. So was Undertaker your favorite wrestler?
Back then, yes.
Yeah. Mine was Goldberg.
Oh,
I used to love him, the spear tackle and just everything about him.
He's
and
a
I used to
beast.
love doing fucking these ones.
Oh,
was
like
it a
DX.
Triple Eight? Who was a Triple Eight?
yeah,
No.
Triple H, Shawn Michaels,
Yes.
X-Pac.
Oh man, we used to do that at school all the time. I still do it now at work sometimes.
Yeah, I don't
I
blame
might
you.
get in trouble though. Were you into wrestling?
No.
Fucking out of the conversation. All right, we're having a moment. Yeah, cool. So, and how was that first session that you went there? Did they let you partake?
Yeah,
Being
yeah,
Undertaker,
they
did you
did.
choke someone out? Did
Yeah,
you
I did
reawaken?
a big choke slam.
Oh my god.
No, I didn't. I wish. So I did my first session. I just fell in love with it, really.
Yeah, good,
and I just started showing up to every session.
Yeah. So I guess with wrestling, it's similar to like jiu-jitsu or whatever. Like do a bit of not mat work, but you get into some positions. You try this, do these ones. You got all your technical stuff, and you just build up from there. Yeah.
Yes, pretty much.
And so from 11 years old,
From 11 years old.
you started to.
Yeah, so I started training for a good year.
Fuck.
And then my dad wanted me to compete.
In that first year, did you notice a change with your speaking? Did you notice a change in your confidence?
I had so much more confidence by being able to put myself out there with people and communicate with them and telling them I was a wrestler.
That's nice.
And everyone thought it was the coolest thing because everyone loved WWE, but everyone thought I was wrestling like John Cena or those type of wrestlers. And I kind of had to educate them who I was like wrestling and what wrestling was.
Yeah, kids.
Best way I could explain it was, do you know what Kurt Angle does? I did that type of wrestling.
Kurt Angle was a legit wrestler.
Yeah, he was an Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah, he was. He died, didn't he? Did he die?
No.
Someone else must. Sorry, I apologize to any Kurt Angle fans. He broke his neck.
He broke his neck.
Sorry, he broke his neck. Yes. No, I thought he died for a moment.
He came back to life.
No, so he broke his neck. Like he's legit.
He's legit. He won an Olympic gold medal with a broken neck.
Fuck, that's the story there. So. Also, how about with friends and stuff? You start making friends at this point as well?
Yes, that's when I started making friends. And
cool, man.
Especially when I started competing.
Yeah. When
I started leveling up, I had photos to prove that I was like competing in wrestling. And I started getting good achievements. So I was winning a lot of the PCYC tournaments.
Yep.
But for the first year, I only came second in a few of the international tournaments. And at the end of the year, I ended up winning my first national title as well.
Fuck yeah, man.
Which was a good feeling.
Yeah. Was there any like prize money and things like that? Or was it just like little medals and certificates of achievements and stuff like that?
You just wrestled for the love of it.
Yeah, fair enough. And okay, so and from there, how like with your wrestling career, like how far have you gone? I can see the cauliflower ears, so that's quite fucking serious.
Yeah, so I got like one of them at 14 years old, the other one around 15 years old.
That's from trauma, isn't it? So if you hit it enough times, that they just develop like that.
It can be friction or can be like getting hit in the ears.
Fuck, they're so sensitive.
Yeah.
How's your hearing as a result? Is it still the same?
What's that?
You're a funny man. Does it affect your hearing at all?
No, it doesn't.
Because I know I've read, I don't know how, but with the actual the shape of the ear, it's all for the acoustics.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure.
Maybe for some people, especially the ones with closed up ears, they might struggle hearing. But for me, I've been quite lucky, and a lot of other wrestlers have been saying this, where it's quite flat. Where you see a lot of other wrestlers, their ears stick out to here. And you can see here, the ears are actually closed up.
Yep.
But mine,
yours is normal.
Open. Yeah,
inside there, they look normal. You look like you're badass.
Oh, thank you.
No, honestly, when you see people with cauliflower ears, I don't want to fuck around with this person. It's the honest truth. Like you see someone walking the street, whatever, and it's not like I'm going to fuck around with them in the first place. But they got those ears, bro. All right, respect, bro. Just leave me alone.
100%.
Yeah. So with your wrestling, all right, how far did you go? Where'd you go?
Okay, so I remember when I was like, I won like 3 national titles at this point.
How old were you at this point?
I was 15.
Okay.
And I remember I discovered the video The Secret.
The Secret.
Yeah. So I started watching that at 15.
Yeah.
And I figured out you can write down everything you want to achieve on paper.
Yes.
And all you have to do is the law of action.
Yes.
To be able to succeed and attract the things you desire. So I created a list of everything I wanted to achieve, put it in my wardrobe, and I just stuck to training. And from there, I started ticking one thing after another, where by the time I was 20, I already marked off about 90% of my list. Just by sticking to the program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where I think from listening to a lot of people talking about manifestation, I love listening to these podcasts, these younger generation. Oh, manifestation. I love it. It's like, yeah, I love it too. But I feel like we're like the OGs when it came to, like we were watching The Secret when it first came out. So did you watch it on TV or on video?
On video.
On video.
Or DVD, I should say.
I remember I was at my place. I was living in Hurstville at the time. I believe I was 16 years old. So I think it was a couple of years before yourself. Me and my best mate at the time were sitting at the couch. It's 8 o'clock at night, 8:30, and we turn it on. There's Oprah and whoever on that thing talking about, not Oprah, it was actual show, talking about The Secret, and we just our minds were blown. Couldn't believe it. And because I have tinnitus, so it was so bad at the time because it's so new. I was actually using that secret to say, it's not there, it's not there, it's not there. And slowly, like, it started disappearing. I'm like, oh my God, this is magic. But then it came back and it's still here to this day. But I'm used to it. But there was other things that you sort of that it's helped in life. But it's an interesting one because that one there sort of like says you just put in your mind will come to you, but just that also depends on how much you are in flow state.
That is true. And I find as well, you have to not be attached to the outcome as well. The more attached you are to the outcome, the more it gets pushed back and you have to wait longer to achieve your goal. So as long as you set out your goals you want to achieve, you don't become attached to it and you just continue on with what you want to achieve, you're eventually going to get there and achieve it.
And you're doing it the best way, which is you have a thought and you write it down on paper.
Yes.
So I always say that you write it down, you put it down on paper, and you sort of bring it into life. Not sort of, you do bring it into life. Even signing your signature on a check or something like these things, they put energy into it. So, and lists are awesome as well. Who doesn't love a good list? They just fucking tick off.
That's it.
So, okay. So with your Olympic, did you actually go to the Olympics?
Okay, so I've been to...
Are you an Olympian?
No.
Fucking you lied to me, Nick. I thought he was an Olympian. No, you didn't say anything. I actually thought you were in the Olympics or Commonwealth Games or something.
Yeah, majority of people think I'm an Olympian.
I thought you were, bro. I'm a bit fucking...
I don't
there's
I know
the door.
80% of people that know me think I'm still an Olympian, even though I told them I'm not. They still consider me an Olympian,
You are
which
an
is
Olympian.
funny. Thank you.
Go in breakdancing.
In breakdancing, that's it. But yeah, I've represented Australia in 2 Commonwealth Games.
Awesome.
1 Youth Commonwealth Games and a few Commonwealth Championships as well. So I came 2nd and 3rd at the Commonwealth Championships.
Awesome, bro.
I've won over 16 national titles, 7 Oceania titles. I've won some big international tournaments as well.
So you're a good wrestler.
I consider myself to be all right.
You know what? We're going to wrestle one day.
Yeah, for sure.
We've got to give it a go. We're going to wrestle one day. Legit wrestling with our pants on.
Yeah,
I swear that's it. I can.
I thought it was
Turkish
Greek wrestling.
So no, we're gonna wrestle one day. I want to suss it. I just want to experience it.
Yeah, anytime.
So you got to the Commonwealth Games. Did you ever want to go to the Olympics?
Yeah, there was a point in time where I wanted to go to Olympics, and it was around 2012. Right. So in 2011, I had a good year where I came 3rd at the Commonwealth Championships, and I was winning a big international tournaments, and I was considered the best junior wrestler awarded by the Commonwealth president. And from there, I showed promise to make the Olympics. And from there, I was continuing training, and then in 2011, I had my first girlfriend.
It's good, but you know what happens after this, man. They take your soul, bro.
Yeah, this is where the story is going.
Oh, let's hear about this one. All right.
Okay, so I think we met at one of the tournaments. So she was a draw master. And
I have no idea what that is.
It's all good. They set out
Say
the draws
draw
of
master?
who.
What the fuck? What?
They set out the matches of who you're going to be wrestling.
Oh, draw master. I thought you jaw master.
No,
I'm like, what?
Draw master.
Sorry, bro.
No, it's
I'm
all
just
good.
saying, okay.
It's all good. And I still remember she wanted me to do a fireman's carry. So in that tournament, I was trying to do a fireman's carry. And in that competition, I ended up beating a guy later on, about 4 years later. He won the NCAA. Oh, no. He was runner-up at the NCAAs. And there was a Canadian and Cup champion and a few other big wrestlers. I ended up winning that tournament. And then from there, I continued winning in competitions. And I moved to Canada. And that's where she was from.
Okay.
Right? So when I came back to Australia just for a week just to compete at the Oceanias, I had the best competition I ever had. And that very night, she ended up breaking up with me. And I was like devastated. I didn't know what to do with myself.
Yeah.
Where my parents trying to convince me to not move back to Canada and to stay. But what I decided to do, I moved back to Canada.
And she was from there.
So
she broke up with you and you wanted to go back to Canada.
Yeah, to figure out why.
That's okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and that's what I did. But I didn't know at that time it was the off season in Canada. So there was no wrestling training. So I was stuck in my thoughts for like a good 3 to 4 weeks before I was meant to compete at the Oceania Africana, which pretty much determines if I make the Olympics.
Ah, fuck.
So yeah, at that time I was stuck. I remember I was like ringing a lot of psychics, trying to figure out what was going on. And I just wanted to know if we're going to get back together.
Oh, I know the feeling, bro.
Yeah.
I know the feeling.
I was in a dark place.
Yeah.
And I just remember when it was time to go to Morocco from Canada, did not do any training really, probably just like a jog here and there.
Fuck.
Went there and I felt like I had no strength when I was competing. And I just remember I was so heartbroken. I was throwing chairs and tables everywhere in this dark room, and I was like blaming God for everything. And I was just in tears, and I felt like I don't know if I wanted to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And from that time, every time when it came up to Olympics, something always stopped me from competing. So
Okay.
I about to qualify for the 2020 as well as this year's, but because probably of that traumatic experience, probably stopped me. But I never used that as a blaming source for it.
I feel like maybe that was like maybe who's dominating in the Olympics? What country usually dominates?
Usually Russia, but they weren't there this year.
I was gonna say maybe it was like back in those days a Russian spy came in to like take you out because they saw your abilities. Like no, we must fucking do something to him so he doesn't win. We want that gold medal. You never know. That's probably a cool story. So you put that in your biography and you can act that in a film with Martin Scorsese or something.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Because how old were you at the time when you?
I was 19.
Yeah, fuck. I remember when I had my first heartbreak. I was 21. It took me about 2 years to get over it.
It does take you a while to get over it.
I was a little bitch. It took me a lot. It took me a lot longer than that. But that's a whole spiritual story in itself. And what they do is they crack you open, and it gets you to go further. Because let's say you have the life that you've had, the life that I've had, whatever. You need these experiences to happen to you, to shock you.
Yes. Things
so you can crack open your heart more. And they're hard, but you have to go through that. So you see through what you went through for your speech and the bullying and whatnot, and then bang into wrestling and how well you did in that. But then you went through heartbreak, and it sort of now stunted that. And now we're going to go into the next part of your life, which shows how that goes. So you see how these things happen to open up these different avenues. And it's sort of like you already had an open heart being young, and you didn't need to open your heart to start going further in your childhood. What you needed some confidence. You needed something to help you with your speech and the way you thought about yourself and who you were. So that's why you went into wrestling, and it opened up. But then as you went further along, that's when you actually needed, because you probably lost a lot of that innocence and whatnot as you were getting older. Your heart, I'm not a psychologist, I'm just talking from what I'm thinking. And then you have that to crack it open to get to the next stage. And that's usually what happens. And I feel like that's what happened with me, is where we have to let go of something. What's the universe knows what needs to happen. They guide you, but it's tough.
It's like that saying, good times create weak men.
Yeah.
And weak times create strong men. Right, and we need to experience those tough times in order to become stronger, in order for us to have more resilience and pursue the things we like to desire in our future goals and what we're bound to do in a future bigger purpose beyond our own expectations. Because we're like small fishes in a big pond.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And we play a bigger purpose that we do not know yet, but we will find out in time.
I got you there. So, did you ever find out why she broke up with you?
Well, I know for a fact she was seeing somebody else
for fuck's
as well.
Sake. Come on, don't do this shit.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Yeah, I found out when I was in Morocco.
Yeah, whatever. Fuck it.
It is what it is.
Sorry, bro, but fuck. That's not nice, but... I was gonna say something, but who knows? Maybe she's watching this one. I'm gonna call her a bad name. I'm not going to. I don't know this person.
Yeah,
she did you a solid. But could you say that? Have you had relationships after that?
Oh yeah.
So that's fine. That's okay. So you healed yourself and you slept with thousands of women. And you say, hey, you fucking didn't. You didn't do anything to hit. Nah. But the thing is also we've got to make sure that those you can. when that happens, that you process it properly.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
that you can move on from there. Sometimes some of us, those types of relationships can take good men,
That's true.
So you got to make sure, and that's when we band together and help each other out, but they're not
Yes.
easy. So, okay. All right. That sheep fucking left you and you didn't make it to the Olympics. You're at Morocco. You're breaking shit. What then?
Yeah. So after that, I went back to Canada because that's where my ticket was, and I spent another week there. And I thought to myself, I'm just wasting my time here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I decided to move back to Australia.
Yep.
And during that time, that's when I started to pursue like going to church.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I started to build on my faith and really find myself there and just continue wrestling. So I kept on wrestling during that time, and I've done well for myself as well. But I was looking for an excuse to get out.
Okay.
And then during the time I got injured, that's when I had another girlfriend.
Okay.
But this is when it was my most traumatic time of having a girlfriend. So it was like one of those traumatic relationships.
Ah, shit.
And yeah, it was a time when I decided to quit wrestling. So I always knew who Justin the athlete was, but I never knew who Justin the person was. So it was easy for her to target me. And because she knew I had a Canadian girlfriend too, I'll tell you at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. in the morning, she was looking for my clothes, looking for a Canadian t-shirt. And she said, "Did your ex give this to you?" But it was actually a Canadian friend that gave me that.
So what even if your ex gave it to you, bro?
Yeah, even though. But she ended up cutting it.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it was like one of those devastating moments. And she used to get angry if someone was speaking about my wrestling or just talking about my achievements because she wanted the center of attention. So I was stuck in a relationship for
How
that
long?
for like 2 years.
Fuck.
Yeah, I felt stuck, and I had the thought of committing suicide
Oh, fuck.
during those times as well. And I remember at one point I was laying down, my arm started to hurt,
Yeah. Left arm.
my left arm, and yeah, I just wanted to give in so many times until towards the end of the relationship, I started standing up for myself. Started to figure out who I was, and towards that time, that's when we decided to break up.
Tombstone to bang. No, don't. Do
Yeah, don't do that.
that. Maybe.
Maybe.
Good on you.
Yeah.
Fucking good on you. Where did you get that to start? What did you feel to start doing that? Like, what came to you?
I just felt a lot of like anger started to come out of me, and I knew I had to stand up for myself because if I didn't stand out for myself, who would really? So, and that's what I did. And not so long after we broke up, I started going down a spiritual journey.
Good, man.
Yeah.
I want to go back to that T-shirt. So was it like a special kind of T-shirt? Can we go onto Amazon and buy this T-shirt? Can we get you another one?
No, you can't.
Ah, for fuck's sake. That's, man. What type of T-shirt was it?
It was a Canadian wrestling national team T-shirt.
Are you fucking serious? Oh, I've no words. All right. I think that the angels and God are showing you no more competing. Like, go train kids, but you're not going there. I don't know what to say. That's fucked. Oh, I would have lost my shit. I would have gone to jail that night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably no.
No.
But that's bad. Ah, okay. All right. So we won't mention that anymore. All right. And so that's now the spiritual journey. So
Yeah, so that's when I started reading a lot of books.
Yep.
So The Subtle Art, I started reading, what was it? The Power of Now.
Yes.
A lot of those
Eckhart
books
Tolle.
behind you.
Yep.
Becoming the Supernatural.
He hasn't read these books. They're just there for. Have you read these books?
No, yeah, I started reading a lot of these books and
Becoming Supernatural is awesome.
Yes.
All these books here. You got Tony Robbins over here. There's The Secret. And Don Miguel Ruiz, The Four Agreements. These are all good books, man. They're all great books.
And that's when I started my spiritual journey. I started meditating. I started like educating myself. And I found myself like starting to get a more strong momentum in terms of my spiritual growth. And I started to understand the laws of attraction, the laws of vibration so much more. To the point where I was going to this point where I was actually visualizing certain things when I was running that I wanted to pass this person at a certain point of the run. I was doing it. So I started to use that when I was driving. I want this car space. I was landing that car space.
Yeah.
Just because you understand how it worked.
Yeah.
And as I said before, you weren't attached to the outcome of it, but you showed appreciation and gratitude for those opportunities. Yep. And I think that's a big thing. And you feel so much in the present.
Yes.
Because if you're thinking too much ahead, you have anxiety. You think in the past, you have depression.
Yep.
So it's always important, if you can, to try to focus on the present moment.
And when you focus on the present moment as well, you actually see the opportunities.
Yes.
So I think you just mentioned parking just then.
Yes.
So a big thing is, it's good to hear. It's good to know that you're listening, Daniel. It's like if you're stressing about parking and where you're going to park, you'll miss so many opportunities.
I agree.
But if you're present and you're like, no, I'm in this shopping center, I'm going to fucking find a good park. Don't worry about it. And then what you do is you start picking up on, all it is opportunities. Miracles are opportunities as well. Like that's what I was taught by my mentor who passed away. He goes,
sorry to hear that.
Sorry?
Sorry to hear that.
He's sorry to hear it too. So he passed away, bro. What are you going to do? It's sort of like God will give you like a miracle, but it's usually an opportunity that you have to take. So in saying that, I'm like, yeah, okay, it's a miracle I got a parking spot. But when you're in the present and you believe, you will find a parking spot. The odds are in your favor. You're guaranteed to find one. It just depends where, how, and all that. But you just got to pay attention. You start to see who's coming out, what's this moving there, what's the crowd doing, how's it working, all that type of stuff. And then if you're starting to stress, you won't notice it. But if you're present, cool, calm, collected, or do what Mr. Bean does and just fucking get in there and knock the 3-wheeled car out all the time, But coming back to miracles, they are opportunities. You have to pay attention, when you're in flow state, or not even flow state, when you're present and you believe, you'll see them and you'll take them and you'll be ready for action.
Absolutely.
And you'll take it. And that's the most important thing.
I think the strongest word to explain it is faith.
Of course.
I'm a man of great faith, opportunities arise. And when you start to doubt, you lack in faith.
Yeah.
So it's important that we all, even myself, continue to grow in faith for these opportunities to arrive. Because I remember continuing on to the story where I started partying 4 nights a week.
Good on you. You need to get that out of your system.
I did. So every Tuesday
you
night.
You fucking cut your jersey. I'm going out there. I'm going to cut your friends. No, sorry.
Yeah. So I went to establishment every Tuesday.
Good on you.
Every Thursday, every Friday, and then wherever every Saturday.
Just drinking, or did you get a little bit?
Oh, I was just going to pick up and have fun.
Yeah, so there's a bit more than drinking.
I wasn't even drinking.
Okay.
Because I saw on YouTube this guy who said, if you go out and you don't drink and you go have fun, you're going to accumulate more energy.
Yeah.
And by the end of the night, you're going to have so much energy where a lot of your friends that drink are going to be crashing at that time. And just going through that path, that was the case.
Yeah, okay.
Because the more people you socialize with, the more energy you gain.
Yeah. You know what also gives you energy? Semen retention.
That's true.
And the girls can sense
no fat.
They can sense that as well.
And it gets crazy sometimes because when you do it for a long time, you'll find girls even introducing themselves to you.
Fuck, bro. I only do it for about 20 minutes at a time. I need to go longer. After 2 days, I feel like I'm dying.
New goals.
Nah, they start introducing themselves to you.
Yeah. Because, I don't know, it's like you're right. They can sense it. It's like being taken. When you're in a relationship, girls pay more attention to you.
I don't understand. No one pays attention to me. I'm like this. I'm fucking just in the corner somewhere. Interesting.
Yeah, and it's a lot like that when you're on semen retention. And obviously when you FAP, you lose that attention. And you become more reactive rather than being proactive.
Okay.
And yeah, you just start to notice all these small cues that you didn't before. It's another way of being in the present moment.
Yes. So you're like a master hunter.
Yes.
So yeah, fucking, you're dangerous at establishment. Oh my God. Those days are behind me now anyways. I'm too old for that place, man.
Same.
Yeah, all right. So you've gone down a spiritual journey. So what, did you get more acquainted with God? Did you believe in God? Did you believe in a universe, a source? Like, what was your... Do you believe in God?
Yeah, I believe in God. And at that time, I believed in God, but also believed in the universe.
That's fine, yeah.
So I was always asking that question for the longest time. And it was kind of funny during that phase. I thought to myself, I want to start a business. And when I said that, I automatically got a text from a place I was working off, like just doing wrestling coaching to become a personal trainer.
Mm-hmm.
They said, I think you have the qualities to be a PT. You should go down this path. So I decided to become a PT. So I worked in there for about a good 2 to 3 years.
Uh-huh.
And then it was to a point where I felt like I didn't want to do it anymore. And I was getting depressed, so I started traveling to the city. I was traveling to different beaches.
Yep.
And one day I was at La Perouse.
I love La Perouse,
It's
man.
such a beautiful place. And I remember it was a full moon. The moon was glaring on the water.
Mm.
And I was like speaking, if there's a God or the universe, I am lost and I just need your help. I feel like personal training isn't for me anymore. And I feel like I need to start a new journey. And I remember I was just rambling on for a good 15 minutes.
The best.
And then when I went to the car, I got a call from my friend. He's like, Justin, I have some good news, but I can't mention it here.
Oh.
Let's meet up tomorrow at Parramatta at Alex & Co. So we met up there and he presented this opportunity about starting a podcast.
Wait, what's Alex & Co?
It's like a cafe
Okay.
/ bar.
Oh, okay, cool. I've got no idea. All right. Now the scene is set. All right. Now he's presented a podcast. All right. Continue.
Yeah, he presented a podcast and he's like, you know how impulsive they run their show? I want to run something similar to that.
Yeah, all right. All right.
Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, sounds good. And we just started talking about it. And it's like, you know what? Like I think he brought up, let's talk about success. Like, okay, let's leave success on the podcast. So we decided to go for a walk around Parramatta River.
Okay.
And we're just trying to figure out the first name for it. And we thought of so many names until we came to across the name called Millennial. It's like, you know what? What about Millennial Success? So we started our podcast. We interviewed a guy named Thomas, who was my first guest on the Path Talk show.
Yeah, nice.
And from there, I continued on doing a few interviews, and then COVID happened.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, it was kind of devastating at the time seeing a lot of my employees upset because they've lost their job.
Yep.
But for me, I was happy because it was an opportunity.
Of course.
So during that time, we recorded about 50 episodes in 30 days.
Fuck.
And yeah, because we had access to everybody, it was kind of easy to make these bookings, especially everything done online.
Yeah.
Yeah, and learned so much from all these guys who were extremely successful. They were making over 8 to 9 figures, or even some were billionaires as well.
Jesus. So you've interviewed a billionaire.
Yeah.
Doing much better than me, bro.
No, if it was to bring him in studio, that's a mission.
Yeah.
But at the time, because it was lockdown and no one was really doing anything, it was easy to get them on the podcast.
Yeah, nice, man. That's
Yeah.
all right. That's good.
It was just at a different point in time.
And so you're talking about success. Is that what you wanted to talk about? Were you
Yes.
getting into other avenues or?
It was all about success. So we were interviewing a lot of online entrepreneurs because my friend wanted to become an online entrepreneur, which he is doing now.
But you didn't want to become an online entrepreneur. You just wanted something. And then so what did you start feeling in the podcast space? What did you start feeling?
Yeah, I was confused at the time.
It drew you away from, God help me, I need to sign something, and then I'm going to go podcasting. So now are you still depressed?
I was trying to figure out who I was. I didn't know where I wanted to go because my friend wanted to be an entrepreneur. I was like, maybe I want that too. So I started going down that path, and
we're all entrepreneurs, but
yeah,
because I know where you've gone now, I can see that, and I think podcasting is actually one of the greatest ways to start discovering yourself.
It is, absolutely. And that's where it led me back to. And it's funny enough, where I was starting the online coaching business, but it didn't do too well compared to when I was doing personal training. So I decided to get back into wrestling.
Okay.
And from there, I decided 11 months before that I wanted to compete at the Commonwealth Games in 2022. So why I said, okay, I'm going to train every day, at least twice a day.
Okay.
Some days I was training 3 times a day.
You're a freak.
Thank you. And from there, I think 7 months later, I qualified for the Commonwealth Games.
Yep.
But I officially competed 11 months later.
Okay.
After setting that goal of wanting to compete at the Commonwealth Games.
You did it. And
Yeah.
what did you get to in the Commonwealth Games? Did you win? Not win. Did you win or come second or?
I came 6th at the Commonwealth Games.
Okay, 6 out of how many people?
Like over 10 or 11 people.
Fuck that, bro. It's more than half. That's halfway, bro. That's
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
halfway. That's good, man.
That was good. Like even 11 months and like 4 weeks prior to that, I tore my, what was it? My adductor.
It's too much sex, bro.
Yeah, too much sex. No, I was just cutting a lot of weight and I decided to move around with someone bigger and silly
Like I said,
enough,
bro,
I
too
injured
much
myself.
sex, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Too many night outs.
Like them big booty bitches. All right. Yeah, cool, man. All right. And so,
This is where it gets closer to like meeting God as well. So
yeah.
yeah. And from there, I came back from Germany and I was trying to discover what I wanted to do with myself. And then I heard a voice like to look through these boxes and I found a picture of Henry Winkler. He's like a famous actor.
From the fucking the
Happy
Fonz.
Days. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Fonz.
I love that guy, man.
Yeah.
The best.
And he had dyslexia too.
A lot of them do.
Yeah.
Not a lot. Yeah, yeah. It's not common, but there's quite a few of the
Yeah.
really good ones out there. Also, okay.
And he actually signed an autograph when I was a kid saying,
So where were these boxes? Sorry, these were your boxes at home or
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
and it was a photo of him.
it was a photo of him. It
Yeah.
says, Justin, the world is yours. Go and get it.
How'd you get that?
I got it when I was a kid. So my mum emailed him telling him my story of having
Really?
dyslexia, speech impairment, and I wanted to be an actor.
How did she get his email?
No idea.
Far out. And he sent that to you.
he sent that to me. as
And
a
what
kid.
did it say again?
Justin, the world is yours. Go and get it.
And how old were you when you got that?
I was probably about 8, 9 years old.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Ah, all right. And so
then-
you found that again?
Found that. And then I saw an ad for an extras agency.
Yeah.
Signed up for that. And then a day later, I got my photos and my profile done. And I got a call for the Fall Guy. That
The
was
Fall
recently
Guy.
out. Yeah. It was quite cool because I remember being on set and I was just seeing the big studio, everything set up, and this American guy just come through. Okay, guys, what we're going to do here, we're going to go through the table, and then everyone's going to go back, including Winston from the Black Panther. And then from there, we're going to get the shot. And I had a feeling I was going to see Ryan Gosling. And from there, the camera guy went through, and it shined on Ryan Gosling. And I just remember being starstruck. And I remember at that time, I was like, you know what? I'll be an actor. And I started going to acting school. But every time before acting school, I used to pray.
This was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was last year.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. And you started to pray.
Started to pray before every acting day because I wanted to succeed in acting. Until I heard a voice towards the end of last year, hearing, "Come before me and all will be added to you." And what that represented to me, it was go to church. So I started going to church and...
Which church did you go to? Like, what was it? Was it Christian?
Yeah, Christian
Catholic?
church. Catholic.
Did you go to, I don't know, did you go to a mosque? Whatever, what were we into?
Catholic.
Catholic, okay.
But during that time when I was praying, I was actually listening to both the Bible in the morning and Quran in the evening. Because I wanted to know both scriptures, get a pure understanding. And at that time, I decided to go to a Catholic church because that was my main roots. And then from there, I just heard another voice not so long after where I had a big attachment to my hair back then. So I used to grow out the side fringes to cover up my receding hairlines.
Sorry, don't say.
Yeah, and I actually ended up shaving it, and I fasted for 40 days.
Fuck, yeah.
Yeah, and that gave me pure, deep, like, clarity. It was
Yeah.
crazy. And it came to a point of time because obviously I studied both Islam and Christianity. I was kind of confused of who God was, and I just wanted to know if Jesus was the Son of God. And was kind of strange too, because you usually don't remember the first part of your dream.
Yeah.
Usually don't, right? And it's almost like, that feeling you have when you feel like you're falling off a cliff.
Yep.
And then you hit the bottom and you jump. It was kind of like that. At the start of the dream, I saw this man sitting on a rock, and he had these people behind him, but his face shined like the sun. And I knew I was in a higher presence, and I felt my answer was answered. And then throughout the fast, I saw two more things where Jesus was with the thorns. He was looking to the side, and it was the same thing where it was the first thing I dreamt of. And then from there, I was in this angle here. He had a long, slim face with a slim nose, and he was like wearing the thorn crown and like a kind of like a brown robe. And I just remember looking away, and I looked back, and I saw this Roman guy just death staring me. And I woke up. And then the last one before the end of the fast was the clouds breaking and the sun shining through, and just hearing the words, "I am who I say I am." And then from there, I gave myself to God, and I surrendered myself completely to Him. And everything that made sense about the universe made sense to a point of view. There is a God.
Of course.
And He's created everyone in His image, and He has a plan for all of us, good or bad. It's just a matter of the decisions you make that's going to help you get to where you need to go.
Of course.
Yeah. So we have two different versions of ourselves, where one of them is going to make it up to heaven and the other is not. So we have the choice on what we can do in order to either go to heaven or not, or to perish.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. The 40 days, the fasting usually that's what they all did. And it will bring you to to a point of clarity. But then also the dreams that you have. So you're very vivid and you can see a lot of things. So you dream a lot of stuff. I dream a lot of stuff too. I've had some experiences, but
share a few of yours. I'm interested.
Oh, I've got lots of dreams. So I have to, I remember my first encounter with I guess it would be Jesus would be when I was in Wollongong, and I was having a deep healing. I think I was like 16 at the time. I was very angry, and it was very interesting. This man, he was just a very interesting fella. My mum took me there, and I remember I was like in a state. I've been in that state before, like when you're sleeping but you're not sleeping, like you just. And I understand it now when I do Reiki and whatnot, or when I meditate or whatever. It's like you're just in that. I don't even know what that state is. And I remember just seeing. It was just like what was it? It was a lighthouse, turbulent water, dark, and there was a cross with Jesus there.
Wow.
And I still don't I don't really understand it to this day, but I remember seeing that, like, that was just so vivid back in that time. So I'm going to actually have to sit down and actually think about that now later on, but that was like the first encounter. And there's more other ones, and I will, when I think of them, I'll share them with you.
Yeah, please do.
I'll hit you up.
I love stories like that.
Yeah, but that one really got, that was really interesting. And then I actually, after that healing session, like I started to get a little bit better. Things were getting better, but it was very interesting. The guy was telling me, there's a lot of doors. You're opening and closing doors. You have to keep on going, opening all these doors to open up the pathway,
Yeah.
And it was very interesting. Yeah. Okay. So
read Isaiah 20 when you have the time.
Isaiah 20. All right.
I'm pretty sure it's Isaiah 20.
That to me.
So this is where he actually comes to you, even if you don't ask for him to come to you.
Yeah.
And if you do ask, he sometimes appears to you.
I've always had a good relationship with God. I've always, and I'm very tolerant of everyone's beliefs, but I don't. Now when people say, I don't believe in God, okay, or I believe in the universe, but I don't believe in God, okay, you're allowed to, but sort of like just go a bit deeper.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I feel that everything is the same, but I still feel that you need to honor and and give respect to creator. And you can call it creator. And then sometimes people will say, well, why does he have to be a man? Well, I don't know. It could be both. Could be male. You have to have both, but I'm not going to get into that debate of is God male or not. I'm not going to get into that equal opportunist stuff, all right? Now, the thing is, but I do believe that you need to pay respect to creator, and to like you do to your parents, you have to give to just, it's a mystery. And the thing that really got me closer to God and my beliefs was with my mentor. He was a Native American man. He was very tolerant, and he actually helped you along your way with your belief. If you're a Muslim, you're a Christian, Catholic, Jewish, doesn't matter. Because he knew it all, didn't know it all, but he's very well versed in it. He would help push you along to go further. It's not like, no, don't believe in that, you need to come this way. No, go further. You'll find secrets there. You'll find treasure. In all of them, you'll go find something, go. And the way that the Native Americans would talk about creation is creator, grandmother, grandfather, so they're paying respect to it. And they ultimately comes down to the great mystery. I don't know what it is, but they do understand that there is a magic there. There's they call it, there's the multiverse. It's like, is this really the only fucking plane, the only universe? No, there's like literally veils, and there's so much out there. There's so much bigger than what we are.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that. And I mean, we can go so far down that, but it's a beautiful thing. And I think that if you do not believe in a creator, you don't believe in a source, you don't believe in God, you're actually doing yourself a disservice, and you're limiting yourself. If you believe in manifestation and you want to partake in manifestation, well, you're partaking in God's magic.
That's true. His miracles.
Exactly. So that's all a part there. And we probably half the podcast half people want to watch is like, yeah, and the other half like, boo, but who cares? The thing is, I am comfortable with my relationship with God. I even got a monastery tattooed on my arm, like a sacred monastery that's important to our Orthodox culture. But I'm comfortable, and I do the cross. I pray, and I'm fine with that, And I think it's a beautiful thing, and I'm very tolerant of other people's. And I talk to many of my co-workers about God.
That's great.
Yeah, I think it's important.
Yeah, it is. And the biggest thing is, more than anything, is just to build a relationship with God. And
you're building a relationship with yourself when you do that.
That's it. Because they say, like, when you do that, it's like you're building your temple within yourself, your kingdom. So Jesus lives in you in this kingdom, but in the other world, you live within God.
The kingdom of God is within you.
Yeah, that's right. Always.
There's no separation. It's literally like you have your parents' DNA. Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's sort of, and it's very interesting. It's a very interesting thing. But what I want to go into, because we could go really deep into that, but what I want to go into, so with your acting and whatnot, because that's actually quite an amazing story. And I love how your mother, so your mum sounds like an awesome woman. All mums are awesome women. All right, let's be honest. So
you have supporters.
You have a good relationship with your mother?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so she contacted someone. She contacted an actor in America and said, it just pretty much opened up and sent it to him, like all the things that you're going through. He responds back with a photo of him, a message, believe in yourself. What was the message again?
Justin, the world is yours. Go and get it.
That's it. So he responds back with that, signs it. So all that energy that was sent to him, he puts it onto his smiling face with his little shiny tooth, signs it, sends it back to you. And you can see how much from that point. So how you did have a difficult childhood. I agree, that's difficult, and you've overcome so much. But from that point, how much you've actually gone through and literally traveled the world and partook in wrestling, represented your country, found yourself, went overseas, heartbroken, enjoyed relations, all these things. And then And then you see how that power of manifestation after this, I want to be a wrestler, I want to achieve this. And then I want to be an actor. The next day, bang, and you meet Ryan Gosling and you're here. And you see how that you're on that path.
Yes.
Through that beauty. And that for me is pure, that's love. That's a miracle. That's so many beautiful things, but that's also manifestation, and that's pure manifestation, and that's how it is. It's not a lot of this other stuff that I'm going to say woo stuff that other people are teaching in these courses and whatnot. This here is pure love, and that's how you manifest, and that's what I want people to understand, and that's what I've achieved. You know, when you're looking at the moon and you're saying, I don't know who I am, I need help, and you're getting to the bare fucking bones of it, and you're opening up, and then the universe, you literally send it out, and it comes back to you, and that's manifest. I've done that. I've done that. I've been in a hilltop in the middle of the bush doing a vision quest.
Wow.
With my mentor, and I was there for 4 days, 3 nights by myself, no food, a little bit of water. And that's when, at that point, I've done something similar, saying, I want help, bro. I want help. And you talk to whoever it is, just like a mate, like, you know, just yourself. You open up. And I remember I laid it all out. You know, I wasn't happy where I was. I wasn't happy living in housing commission. I had no money. I wanted a better life for me and my mum. I wanted our own house. I wanted to work as an engineer. I wanted all these things. I just put it all out there, and then I just left it. I don't know how it's going to come to me. And then I remember also, I saw the eagle, and I've got the eagle on my arm now too. I saw the eagle there. So for me, the eagle is also God's messenger. You know, the bird that flies the highest. And I had no idea how I was going to get it. I said, that's it. I was crying, and I let it all out. And then I remember seeing, there was the local cafe owner. She came into my head. It's because I wanted a job, and I saw her. I'm like, I don't want to work there. Like, what the hell? That's not what I asked for. I didn't ask to work in a cafe. So I said, oh, fuck it. I'll go ask her for a job anyways. But through that cafe, 1-2 months, that's how I got my job in engineering. That's how I finally went down that path. And then through that, I was able to get out of housing commission. I was able to buy a house. I was able to start earning money to the point now where, touch wood, but money's not an issue for me anymore. Where I was before, I was scraping the bottom of the barrel, like literally, I had nothing, you know? Well, I didn't have nothing, but it was fuck all there. Now it's not, but because you put that out there, and you see with yourself what you've done, you've put that out there so much, and it does happen. That's that magic. That's the pure magic, and that's manifestation.
No, I agree. And there's 2 ways that I see when you receive it is when you're at your most vulnerable.
Yes.
And 2 is once you experience the most darkest times, better things are coming. Oh. It's like the definition of Christmas, right? Yeah. Like Santa gives his presents at night. And when we're at our most darkest times, to be tested and trialed, if we pass that trial, better things are to come. Yeah. It's just having that faith, even though you feel worthless, where you feel like you don't know who you are in the process. Better times are coming. It's just a matter of continuing to work on yourself, especially in your most vulnerable times where you said, where we felt like we were heartbroken, we didn't know who we are, we're crying to God, and He listens to our hearts, and He knows what we desire. And through things that opportunities like you went to the cafe led so many beautiful opportunities for you to work in engineering and be able to make the money where you feel like you don't have to worry about money anymore. And it's amazing that what you said about manifestation is having trust that these opportunities will occur as long as you take the action that's necessary in order for you to get the results you desire.
Of course. I still had to go for an interview. I still had to do these things. The interviews are interesting. I met an Indian man that came into my car to do a palm reading for me.
Oh, wow.
You know, and he told me, he's like, oh, you know, what is it you desire? So I thought about the job. And he goes, oh, you need to wear it. What's your favorite color? Blue. Wear a blue shirt. Do this, do that, go there. And it's funny how that came along. But also on the day of the interview, when I parked up, I saw a little spider on my dashboard. Whenever I see the spider, that for me is that's 8 legs, 8. That's a lucky number. It's also manifestation.
Yeah.
And whenever I see the spider like that, I know good things are coming. It's always been a good omen for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I had a spider on me the other day, and someone at work flicked it off. It's like, just all right, but don't step on it. And they stepped on it. I'm like, oh, you fucking son of a bitch. Like, for fuck's sake. But it's sort of like that when I see these little signs like that in the animal kingdom, in the spiritual kingdom or whatever in life, they show omens, and they're,
Yes.
for me, the spider's a good one, man. Just wish you didn't step on it, motherfucker.
Oh, it's his karma, it's not yours.
Oh, he's all right. He's a good bloke. They just don't know. So very interesting, man. So, all right, what's going on? Did you get Ryan Gosling's number? Like, fucking, you gonna hang out with him?
No, it was kind of interesting where I got more opportunities where I met a guy who, he was a effects developer for The Matrix, Star Wars, and all these other big productions.
What's his name?
Davey, I call him Davey Surfer. I don't know his surname, but he's like a black belt in BJJ.
Oh, really crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah, because he saw my ears and was like, you're a wrestler.
The ears,
it's like,
mate.
he knew I was a wrestler. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm a wrestler. And then he started talking to me the whole day.
Yeah.
He introduced me to the main fight choreographer for John Wick, Deadpool, and
John
other
Wick.
big productions. And he was like, you know what? This guy who he introduced me to, I'll add you on Instagram. And then from there, if I have enough room for you, I would like you to be a stunt person for me in the future.
Oh, awesome, bro.
And then from there, he also introduced me to the guy I interviewed recently, Richard Norton. So he's Chuck Norris's best friend and best man in his wedding.
What? Chuck Norris was the king back in the day, man.
A beast.
He still is now.
Texas Ranger.
Yes, that's it. Just those kicks, man. Those roundhouses. Fucking Chuck Norris
Is a beast.
Yeah.
And Richard Norton gave me good acting advice where he's like, don't focus on being a stunt person yet. Focus on developing your acting skills.
Yeah.
Because if you can use the stunt as a surprise element, it's going to help you so much more in your acting career.
Jackie Chan.
Yeah. Well, he done 4 movies with Jackie Chan
Fuck.
as the main villain.
Yeah.
Which is so cool.
I'm going to go suss this guy out. I like it now. That's it. Is he Australian?
He's Australian. He lives down in Melbourne.
He's the blonde-haired guy?
It's like greyish hair. But he has like nice hair as well.
He was the only actor that you've had on so far.
No, that was Luke Ford, the blondish guy. So he
I'm
was
have
on.
to go through all of them, bro.
Yeah, he was on The Mummy. This guy.
I love The Mummy.
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser was so good. I still watched the first one.
Oh man, it's such a good movie. So he was on the third one with him. He was playing Brendan Fraser's son.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Yeah, fuck, that's a while ago then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the guy who was here.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to have to go through you're going to have to send them to me on Instagram so I can see who's who on the messages so I can start seeing and I'll start putting a piece together and start watching these movies.
Yeah, definitely.
I love movies. I love cinema. I love it.
Same.
And ever since my mate, James, he became a sound recordist. So ever since then, I started even getting further into it because you sort of start to see the element of sound.
Oh.
Not see it or you can hear it, but you can feel it. So just from there, I started to understand a bit more of what's going on to what it takes to make a movie or even a TV show. And now it's sort of like, I feel that a lot of the movies that are coming out now, I don't like them compared to what I used to watch back in the day. I felt like there was just so much more drama, so much more action, so much more being put into it. Even the TV shows. Oh, some of them, it just depends. Like you find out of like 100, a couple are good.
Yeah.
And because there's just so much getting pumped out now. Even these big Netflix specials that are coming, they're not doing the mark for me, like big feature films. So like for me, the greatest TV show of all time was Sopranos.
Sopranos.
Have you watched Sopranos?
No, I haven't. I have to watch it.
You got to watch Sopranos, bro. You can't. You got to watch
Sopranos.
Yeah,
I'll definitely put that to the list.
Yeah, you want to become an entrepreneur? Watch Sopranos.
I'll watch it. Yeah, it's kind of funny that you say that. Like a lot of actors today, especially the acting coaches, they look at the old films and they still watch it to this day because they don't enjoy what's out now.
Yeah.
Because obviously everything's rushed and the writers don't really think through the stories sometimes, and they just quickly get drafts done just so they can start working on the production.
They're just pumping them out.
Yeah, exactly. Where before everything was well thought through.
Yeah.
And hence why it was great stories and they had great arcs with each character.
Yeah.
And you could really resonate with like what's happening with each one of them.
All right. What is your favorite movie?
Throw me on the spot there. Okay. I've always been a big Marvel fan, so I used to watch a lot of the Marvel movies. I love Lord of the Rings.
Oh, Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings are great.
That's one of the best.
I agree. And one of my teachers, he was on The Hobbit.
Hobbit was good too.
That was great.
All right.
Titanic was good. Yeah, I would have to say, be out of that, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars actually. The second Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back.
All right. So that's your favorite.
Yes.
All right. Cool. Everyone's got to have a favorite. Nick, what's your favorite? All right. Think about it. We'll come back to you. Who's your favorite actor? Yeah, Arnold. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
he's all right. He's not bad. He's all right.
Get the chopper. Oh.
Rambo.
Sylvester Stallone.
All right.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
He is.
Yeah.
I like him. I love him in King of Tulsa. Is it King of Tulsa? His latest TV show.
Yes.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, I see the promotions everywhere for it.
Watch it. Have you not watched it?
No, not yet.
You got to watch it. But
It's
come
on Apple or
It was
Paramount
on Prime.
Plus.
Paramount. Bro, you got to pay $5 here, $5 there, By the time I'm done, my credit card's done, bro.
Yeah,
$5 everywhere. What's wrong with you? You got to subscribe to the main one, and you got to subscribe to one inside. Oh, for fuck's sake, just.
Yeah, there's like 3 happening inside one now.
It's still better than back in the day when it was only Foxtel, and I couldn't get Foxtel, so I had to just watch it on TV and tape it. You know, whatever.
Do you remember Video Easy and Civic Videos?
They were the best. Blockbuster. I used to buy popcorn from there.
Yes.
And you used to go see your friends. What are you guys watching today? Watching this? Oh my God, we're watching this one.
And there's no better feeling than going to like Blockbusters or Video Easy and just having that feeling of looking through each DVD.
Not even DVD. Mine was tapes, bro. There was no DVD. When I was going, it was tapes.
VCRs.
Yeah, it was VCR. And then you have your one night rental, overnight rental, 3-night rental, 7-night. You know, so you had to go through like the latest releases, and then you go there and there's like, oh, there's none there. Quick, did someone bring one back? Oh my God, someone just dropped one back here, and then you take it and they didn't rewind it. So you got to rewind. Oh, for fuck. It was awesome.
I was the worst. I got so many late fees.
Oh yeah.
Because I returned it like a week later.
Yeah, that's all right.
After due date.
That's all right, bro. Be a rebel.
Yeah, that's it.
So actor.
Yeah.
So who's your?
Oh, that's a tough one.
That might be a tough one. Let me tell you my favorite movie.
Yes.
The Last of the Mohicans.
Oh, what makes that your favorite movie?
I guess I was probably like, I was like in 90s, so I was like 6 or something like that, watching it with my mum back in that time there, and just the soundtrack, the music, it was the soundtrack in the beginning, the scenery, the scenic shot of the mountains, and then it just goes into the storyline, like with Native Americans and the English and the French. And it's just intense. And the storyline is just one of purity. It's like, have you watched it?
No, I have to watch it.
Everything I've recommended, you have it, bro.
Yeah, I know.
We got some homework for you, all right? Okay.
A lot of homework.
Here at the Stodger Pub, we're going to you're not leaving tonight. It's coming up on the screen, bro.
Exactly.
All right?
Gonna be live on this podcast.
It's sort of like the way it just goes through the story, and just, it just... something inside me just loved it, just really brought something out. And now when I think about it, it's just it's a beautiful story, man. And Daniel Day-Lewis is just one of the best actors that's ever existed. Actor. And he doesn't do many movies. What's his latest? He hasn't done anything lately. Just probably how it just builds up, and then towards the end, like how it finishes, and it's just so much, bro. Just watch it, and I'm gonna watch again. I'll tell you, but you gotta watch it too. Right? We're gonna watch it together.
You have to send me a message after this just to remind me.
All right,
and
you're gonna get a lot of messages from me, bro. You gotta watch this. You gotta watch that, and then also I love John Wick.
John Wick's
That's just crazy. Keanu Reeves always did it for me. Speed.
The Matrix.
The Matrix was amazing.
Yes.
And even now when I watch it, I'm like, oh, this is Agenda 2030. This is Klaus Schwab. This is the government, the machines, and what they're doing to us. The digital ID build. I can keep on going, bro. But it sort of makes so much sense.
It does.
That we're just sleeping. You don't have to be in a pod living in a fake world. It's just that most of us are just fucking sleeping and not paying attention to what's really going on or living our lives.
That's very true.
You know, so yeah, it's I like it.
Yeah, I find this is an addiction to a lot of our problems nowadays.
It's so easy to watch porn on that thing. Did I just say that out loud?
Don't worry, it's all good.
Yeah, back in the day, if the VCRs were so hard, you had to wait for your parents to go to sleep. Now it's just like you can.
I think you defeated your 20-minute streak.
Huh?
You're beating your 20-minute streak.
No, I haven't, bro. You just haven't noticed.
Oh.
I'm just there doing these ones. Just fucking. Nah, seriously. No, we haven't. Otherwise, we're going to make this episode X-rated.
Yeah, 100%. It might as well be on, what's the other one? Rumble.
On Rumble. Yeah, we can go on Rumble. We can go on any of them. I actually reckon that as it's going to be natural that my podcast grows because I'm a celebrity now, right? It's going to grow and I'm going to start getting strikes because I swear and the things that I talk about. Right now, they don't care.
Yeah.
But it's eventually going to get to a stage you get like, you know, you get 1,000 views, 2,000. I'm nowhere near that, but you get that and it's like, okay, let's strike him. Let's strike the motherfucker. I said it. Like the other day I went on my Instagram and it's like, couldn't log on. What's going on? So, we thought you were a bot or something or whatever, and we just like locked your account for a day. I'm like, maybe did I post something about Free Palestine or something? And that's what they usually do when you go and share those things. They just, they put a block on you for a day. But yes, free them. But, so now what's the go with acting? So where you going? Have you made it? Like, can you get me into a movie or something, bro? Like, whereabouts are you? Like, what's the next step?
So I've done a commercial. I've done a training film production. Nice. I've done 2 short films, about to do 3.
Nice.
And I've done something else too. Yeah, I've done something else too. But I've done only a few jobs because acting is so hard to make it in. But yeah, it's one of those slow progressions.
You get there, bro.
Yeah.
You'll get there.
Over time.
Just imagine yourself in a movie and write it down and everything and feel it. You know how to manifest it and it'll come, bro. I was dating an actress. She wasn't even an actress, but she went to like the
acting school.
Screen wise Australia, whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
What a head fuck she was. Fucking weirdo. I hope you're watching this. Fucking bitch. And yeah, but it's so interesting because the first thing is like they all go on to there's always short films. Someone's always doing a short film and everyone's participating. So they take the short film seriously.
They do.
You know? You know what? I love watching foreign films.
Foreign films?
Because it's sort of like there's so many more elements to it. So much more feeling, drama, theater. It's just everything in there because it's no longer in English. It's in a different language. So the music also takes over. The acting is not completely different, but there's so much more.
There's a different style of acting.
And then it's also, because I don't understand what they're saying, I have to read the subtitles, but there's just a whole different feeling to it. And I really enjoy foreign films. I actually think that foreign films are better than Western films.
Yeah, and that's one thing we learn about in acting. It's not always about what you say. It's about the behaviors you portray.
Yes.
Right? And being able to work with your scene partner.
Yep.
Being able to be truthful in an imaginary circumstance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you have to be so present. It's crazy. And actors are literally the best listeners. I can be a smart aleck to them. Do it to a normal person, they won't pick it up. An actor will pick it up straight away because there's so much in the moment. Yeah.
But there's also something deep within them and there's a lot going on in there.
There is.
So I really feel that I think everyone should do some type of drama. Like I wish I was doing drama back in high school. That would have been cool. I don't have any ambitions to become an actor. I want to be a comedian. That's what I want to do. I want to do stand-up comedy.
Would you ever do a stand-up show?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna happen. It has to. Like, it has to. Yeah, it will. I will.
That'd be great.
Fucking call Andrew Hamilton, your mate over there. Let's tell him that. Nah, just I gotta go. The only thing is that what I realized is that I would be able to start it off. I've got quite good jokes. I know I do. But the thing is, I will freeze.
Yes.
And you and other people that do acting will understand. Like, you just stop and your mind just goes blank. So you got to work. You got to basically go out there. You got to feel that. Then you got to work out a way how to stop that or how to work through it. So basically, it's through experience.
It's just embracing the suck at the beginning, right?
Of course.
And over time, you learn to overcome it with different strategies to keep you calm and help you perform better in your shows. It's pretty much like wrestling or fighting.
Yeah.
When you first jump on the mat for competition, you feel like you're going to choke. But it's just a matter of just owning it and just going out there and performing. Yeah. And I've done public speaking as well. And I always shift it in a way where I didn't think about, I hope they think about me like this. I always put it in the audience perspective where I was like, if I can at least change one person's life in this show or this like talk, I've done my job.
Yeah.
And that puts the pressure off you and just gets you in the moment to perform and be with the people you're performing with.
Yeah. And also I just had a bit of a laugh to myself when you were talking then. I just had an idea for how to start off a set, which should be pretty much just owning it. It's like, hello everyone, it's my first night. I know I'm shit, but let's just fucking deal with it, all right? And just continue. But it's also, I like to, you need to figure out your own style. And that's something that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to do comedy. I love comedy. Even when I was young, I've always wanted to be an actor, be Hollywood films, make money and that type of stuff. But forget about the money. Like, the actual thing is, I don't know what it is, but it's sort of like embracing different parts and different emotions. And I think that to be a really good actor, you have to be able to go deep within yourself and turn them on, turn them off, and understand. And you need to have those experiences to be able to go into and bring them out. It's very interesting. Like, you watch some of these actors that just like method actors and they just live it, or that they're really weird and they do really weird things. So it takes some type of character.
Yeah, you have to own it at the end of the day, and also it goes down to a lot of character work.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminded me because I remember back when I was clubbing, I went to Canberra one time with my friends.
You're clubbing in Canberra, you normal?
Yeah, I know. We
All
just
right,
decided to
You're
go
right. You're
last
different.
minute. And all these girls were telling me to piss off, get lost, etc. And I remember hearing this.
Because you had no pants on, bro.
Yeah, I had my pants on. I think that was the issue.
No, the pants were off. That's why.
Oh,
They
the
got
pants
away
were
from me.
Yeah, I just remember
Long John
hearing a
Silver.
speech where a person says, just own how you feel.
Yeah.
So I just told one of these girls I felt anxious. And I was scared to talk to her. And she's like, oh, yeah, that's fine. You can talk to me.
She fell in love with you at that point.
Yeah,
bro.
started talking
Oh my
with
God,
her,
he's
getting
so
along with her.
vulnerable.
Yeah.
He opened up to me.
Yeah, they really respect that.
Oh.
And it taught me in acting as well. It's just own how you feel. You can't play off the scene how it's meant to be played out in the scene. You just have to own how you feel in that moment.
Yep.
And play off that.
I want to see you more in movies, man. I think you've got it. I know you've got it. You know you've got it. Everyone knows you've got it. And, there's no time frame on like, oh, you've missed your mark. Like with wrestling and going to the Olympics, let's be honest, probably finished. Do you reckon you can go to the next Olympics?
No.
No. So that's...
This would have been my last if I actually tried for it.
You should have gone, bro. They had purple Smurfs there with their ball bags hanging out in the fucking opening ceremony. Desecrating.
I was really thinking about it, to be honest, because like right before I came back, I was in Germany for about 5 weeks. And I got invited to wrestle in the Bundesliga, which is like the wrestling league over there, and have a Bundesliga for every sport. And I was like, okay, if I stay here for a good year and a bit, I can possibly make the Olympics.
Yeah.
Or I can come back and just do something else. So I ended up coming back here.
Yep.
So I did think that through. And I had to take a step back and just watch a few competitions and see if I still had the feelings for it. and the feelings were no longer there. So I knew it was time to retire.
Oh, that's a good word. I retired from that. But you're still teaching kids, other kids.
Kids, adults, it's just a way of giving back.
That's it. So you still have that passion. It's good. You got to dress up like the Undertaker or Kane or even Mankind with the sock.
Oh, 100%.
But yeah, so basically that part of your life, like to compete in that, that's done. Actually, what did you think about the opening ceremony, bro? We're going to go down that path. What did you think?
It was interesting to say the least.
Where the fuck is this world gone, bro?
It's gone so far, and I actually gathered up some interesting conversations, especially with Barbara Butch.
Who's that?
So she's the one who posted, oh yes, the New Gay Testament. And then from there, she wrote an apology. Will forever be proud and support this moment of art of reference of the Feast of the Gods by Jen Jimenez. But originally she said the New Gay Testament. So it got me thinking, are they trying to cover that up? That what they did was trying to mock the Last Supper, and they're just saying now it's the Feast of the Gods. So we really don't know what's happening behind the scenes.
What feasts of the gods? No gods look like that. No offense,
No.
but no god. That was an Ozempic. Fucking, that was Ozempic
My
games,
opinion,
bro.
they were making fun of the Last Supper.
Yeah, they were, which is wrong. You shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
And then also they had that blue Smurf out there with his ball bags hanging out.
And then there was a guy who had his actual balls hanging out of his underwear too.
What is
Next
this?
behind the child.
There's a kid there.
Right.
What's wrong with
I
these
don't know.
people?
This world's messed up, and they did a mockery of the white horse as well. I don't know if you've seen that.
They're going through. I've got my own opinion on
That's
that one.
on
There,
Revelation 6:8.
All the countries will be following the Antichrist, and they're all going towards Agenda 2030. Klaus Schwab, I'm fucking onto you, mate. All right.
Yeah.
The World Economic Forum, that type of stuff is crazy. It's beyond ridiculous. And I put up a post on Instagram, and to me, like that. My faith in God is so strong like that. I find that's laughable what you're doing there. That's laughable. But
It is.
when you look at it, you're offending people. My mum got upset. Other people got upset. I was in Serbia at the time, very proud Christian country. Like, what's going on? And then, but the thing is, you see a kid there and they're acting this way. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? There's a kid there. Why are you doing this? Like, what do you want to prove? And for me personally, I don't have an issue with, LGBTQ. Like, I can't pronounce all of it. BBQ. Like, I'll be getting in trouble if I go.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, whatever, cool, man. But just the kid there. What are you trying to show? It went back from the day of Muhammad Ali putting on the flame, and you got Kathy Freeman, you got all this stuff, and now you're going down this path. Like, what? I can see through the bullshit. I know which way you want to go to, but I'm going to come back to there's a kid there. Like, for fuck's sake.
And
leave the kids alone.
One of the athletes was a rapist as well.
What?
Who raped a 12 or 14-year-old girl.
Is this like confirmed? Like, this is...
Or from the articles I read.
All right, so it's... Okay,
Yeah.
allegedly, but all right,
But
that's still crazy. Wow.
Yeah, and he was just apologizing and saying it was part of the past where they were putting blame on other people.
No, it's not a part of the past, bro. You should have just...
But yeah.
Fucking see you later. You shouldn't be there.
They shouldn't be there.
Crazy.
But yeah, there's a lot of corruption in this Olympics, and it's been a weird one to put out that.
Has been a weird one. I don't understand it. Good luck to you. And I hope when you go to America, I don't know. I think if you look at the London game opening with all the hospital beds, and then you see COVID, and you see this one now, so you can say, okay, let's put my conspiracy hat on for a moment. It's always on.
Yeah.
But let's put it on for a moment. It's always on. And you're like, okay, so you look at this Ozempic agenda, but okay, they're going to go down. You're going to see down the path. They're going to go down the path of this shit's going to be happening a lot more.
Yes.
All right. Religion's probably going to start falling apart. Who knows? And then also you see the horse, and you see the countries following the horse, and you actually see. What was it? That lady was wearing it was looking like the, what do you call it? The Statue of Liberty.
Yes.
And I think there was even something something where it was in flames or it was broken down or whatever.
There was a headless person too.
Yeah, so you look at what there is so much anarchy that's going to be happening in the next 4 years before the next Olympics, and the next Olympics is going to America, which
in
you
LA.
you can see it's going to be fucking mayhem. It's going to be mayhem, and you heard it first here on the Stodgify podcast.
Yeah.
No, but it's going to be absolute fucking mayhem.
It's spoken about on Revelations too.
It is.
Where people are going to be mocking religion to God, and there's going to be talks about different wars happening.
Yep.
And then obviously there's going to be kingdom versus kingdom. There's a lot happening in the process where I feel like we're heading towards the end times. We're living in it.
It's here.
We're living in it. And it's a scary thought when you think about it. And just seeing that here in this previous Olympics, kind of what's the word I want to use? Cemented that it will happen eventually down the track.
It will.
And it's,
My mentor said, he goes 3, 4, many years, 6, 7, 8 years ago. I went from 3 to 8. He goes, the 4 horsemen are upon us.
Yes.
He wrote it to me in my notes. I was like, fuck, all right. And then everyone's talking about the mark of the beast when COVID came out. Oh, they're going to microchip us. Like, no, they're not going to microchip you. That wasn't a microchip. It's fucking this here.
Yeah.
This is the one that you need to show everything. So if you can't see that, that's why I pay cash all the time as much as I can.
Smart.
Yeah, I want my fucking, my miles so I can claim business class on my flight one day. But the thing is that's it's just one flight before the end of times. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But really, that's what it is. It's on the phone there. So we've gone through quite a lot, and then we went down a bit of a dark path. So very interesting. But I just want to get your take on that. As Australians, we're outraged.
Oh, we were.
But it is what it is. But no one can ever. My faith in God's too strong. But I can see what they're doing there, mate. So. Anyways, Australia did have a good Olympics.
They did, except for the breakdancer. Oh, she actually had a good time because
What the fuck was that?
No idea. I think she done for clout because I went onto her account. She had over 40,000 followers. And I went on today. She had over 120,000 followers.
I don't mind the dance moves. That wasn't breakdancing, but there was no Skippy the Kangaroo. I grew up with break. I know breakdancing when you it's hardcore. Like that stuff is mind blowing. This was interpretive dance. That was, I don't know what the hell they were thinking.
It wasn't breakdancing, obviously, but
I don't know, man. And so good luck to them. But the Australians did well. Even my Serbs, they did well as well.
They did very well.
But the funny thing is, the Serbian basketballers beat the Australian ones, but then the female Australians beat the Serbian female. So it's very interesting. But
yeah, it is.
Did you see that guy that was shooting, the Turkish guy shooting the pistol with nothing, just staring down?
Yeah.
Fuck.
And they say no one remembers who comes second place, but this time no one remember who came first place.
It was the Serbian.
Yeah.
I think it was. But anyways, this guy, that was crazy.
It was ridiculous.
So, all the best to him. So
James Bond.
Your podcast is doing well. You're happy with it. You're going to keep on going with it.
Yes, that's the plan. So.
And your show, what do you mainly talk about? What do you go what's your main theme? Because I haven't listened. I've listened to little bits and pieces, but I haven't listened to enough to understand.
It's more of a inspirational podcast to interview high achievers and just share their stories on how they went through their struggles and how they became successful. But I also love to talk about trending topics as well and talk about things that they haven't spoke about on other podcasts as well. Yeah. So I like to get different perspectives and different stories on the show.
Lovely. I'm going to start trying to get secrets from people when they come on the podcast. So I'm going to start talking about their sex life.
Yeah, that's
Tell me about your sex life.
Yeah,
imagine that. Imagine that. It's like they come and tell me about your sex life. What the fuck? Yeah. Nah, I'm not going to do that.
There's this weird podcast. I was looking to interview this girl. I think she was my she was my third guest. She was on a sex podcast.
She was what? Sex? All I heard was sex.
Yeah, she was on a sex party podcast.
She was on a sex party?
Yes.
Ooh, we need to go on that one, Nick.
Yes, definitely.
Orgy. There was legit a plug talk or something.
Yeah, this person talks about orgies and all these weird topics. Yeah. So he gets a lot of people from OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Have you seen this? check it out. It's something different.
So okay, you got to send me an episode. So that chick, she was on that one.
Yes.
So why was she on that one? Did she?
Because she's like a dating coach.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like maybe I feel like this lady. Like was she partaking in that? So why is he like so aggressive towards? Whatever. So she was she's a sex coach.
No, she's a dating coach.
She's a dating coach, which is a sex coach.
yeah, pretty much teaching men to be confident, to be able to pick up girls and.
Well, you just got to swipe right, bro.
Yeah, but
that's
some
all.
guys
that's all you have to do now.
Social
it's
anxiety.
Fucking disgusting. You go on these apps, bro. You can go out to somewhere and do it the old school way, which is, hey, how are you? Like blah 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 blah, and they're like, nah. It's like no, and then you match with them, and they match with you on the app. It's like, for fuck's sake, what's the difference? Oh my God, my anxiety's so high. Get away from me. You smell like garlic. All right, see you later. But there's just swiping. It's disgusting. I don't like it. These apps are fucked. I refuse to use them. Mainly because I'm in a relationship. But
if you weren't on a relationship.
Fuck that. I don't want to use them. It's no good. Like, I mean, I remember when the first time when I had to go pick up originally, you face to face, you go there. And I remember at university, like, I went up to one girl, she's random sitting there, she was hot. And I just walked up to her, hey, how are you? Hi, how you going? She's like, oh, cool. She's doing her work. I'm like, oh, look, can I get your number and take you out sometime? She's like, no. I was like, okay, fucked off. But I mean, but then slowly when we used to go out, I remember I was at this one bar and I was with my Coles crew, like all those girls. And there was this one chick that she was fucking smoking hot. Gorgeous. I don't know what, maybe she wasn't that, I don't know, maybe just now because of a relationship, I'm just thinking about past times that I've, didn't experience, but just joking. She was amazing. The thing is, you're making eye contact all the time and stuff. And I didn't realize, I think I didn't have confidence to go, like be a cheater and just fucking get on there. No, don't do that. But now it's just lost. The art of picking up is gone.
Yeah,
I think I need to speak to that business coach. Dating coach.
You should get her on. But she lives in Adelaide. But when she comes down to Sydney, definitely hit her up.
I think we need to, because we need to make men, great again. I probably shouldn't use that slogan.
Like Donald Trump.
Yeah. His pickup is just fucking. He just goes straight. He just goes straight in there. But you know what? We'll get you on another time. I've got a couple of ideas for some other podcasts, and I'll speak to you about them off camera to keep people a bit zesty and what's going on there. But you know what? It's a great pleasure to finally meet you, Mr. Justin Thomas. Justin Holland. I don't know why.
Was it Justin Thomas?
I called you Justin Thomas. I've christened you. I'm going to christen you every other name except for Justin Holland. Like, I don't know why. It's just whenever I see you next time, it's like, hey, Max, what? Fuck.
Yeah. Justin Amsterdam.
Justin Amsterdam?
Amsterdam, Holland. Netherlands.
That completely went over. That went over. I think, all right. Mate, where can people find you? So for wrestling, if people want to come and do sessions with you, is that possible? Is it a gym or stuff like that? Like where?
Okay, just hit me up on Athlete Mindset Education, or you can reach out to me on Justin Daniel Holland, either on Facebook or Instagram.
Daniel's your middle name?
Yes.
My name is a Daniel.
There we go.
Fucking how nice is that?
That's why you like me, I guess.
I like you for many reasons, man. And one of them is because you're such a genuine bloke.
Thank you.
And you can see that.
Likewise.
I try to be. You can see on your Instagram, you can see on your podcast, you have a beautiful air about you, beautiful light. It's probably the lights in this fucking studio. This Nick, you got to sort this shit out, bro. All right? Every time I come in here, I'm blinded. Like one day I can't see. With last week with Nadia, I was looking at, she was morphing into different. I couldn't even see. The lights were just fucking crazy.
I haven't changed.
I don't know. It must be me. It must be the mushrooms or something. I don't know. It must be my diet. And you're a fantastic bloke, and you went through hardships, and look where you are now. And this is just the beginning, man. And I truly believe that for acting and for that, that's going to open up for you, which already has. I'm a psychic, I can see. But truly, man, don't stop, bro. You've got that gift, and you're a fantastic bloke, and you deserve the world. And I'm going to put it out there that we manifest for you, that fucking jersey that got cut, that you get another, I swear to God, that you get another one and it'll come to you, because that is a tragedy. And to the chick that did it, I hope you're sorry. That's all I'm going to say. You don't do that type of stuff. You're going to get another one, all right? We're going to make one for you in Thailand or Philippines or something.
Philippines.
I'm sure you have an auntie somewhere that can make. Oh, fuck, that's bad. I'm sorry, bro.
I wish so, but they're like, oh, like, doctor,
good morning,
surgeon.
good morning.
Good morning.
You know what? Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Keep on talking.
100%. All the
all right,
best
man.
to you too.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, everyone, and see you later. Bye-bye, everybody.